Let me check in with the Swords of Mars. Oh God, the Edgar Rice Burroughs book that I've just started. Just started. We've done the introduction where, uh, oh, unnamed fellow, at least unnamed in my brain, could be Edgar Rice Burroughs, out in Arizona, in a cabin, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a have I'm gonna read a gangster novel before I go to sleep," and then he reads or not a novel, a pulp, because hey, pulp fiction, and we have a guy reading pulp fiction in a pulp fiction, a science fiction story of a gangster one, and suddenly he hears something coming from the other room. It's like crap. Extinguishes the light, turns on his thing, can hear a clank of metal. Like crap, and a voice comes out and says like, hey, I'm not here to hurt you, and it's like, maybe, I'm going to come out. Just don't try to not shoot me before you see who I am. And he comes out and it's like, oh, it's John Carter. And it's like they embrace, and he's just in his leather harness, naked except for the leather harness and his weapons. Very, oof, you know, two dudes embracing. Um, and just kind of odd. Um, and and he's like, oh, let me, what's been going on? And it's like, oh, let me tell you the story of what's happened, and you know how perhaps I've lost someone again, a, a great love. And what's been going on is that, yes, he's the warlord of Mars, but assassins sort of are a scourge on Barsoom. And though it's legal, it's very hard to catch, and people are afraid to testify. And he decides he's going to take care of this, and he starts a secret organization that's basically super assassins, which they basically, whenever assassination happens, if they'll do the detective work, track down the assassin and kill them. Basically hunt them, try them, and execute them, and leave an X mark on the corpse, so that to message to the other assassins, which is having some effect. But they find that what Zodanga is where there's a big hive of assassins, and there's just, it's outside of Helium's influence, and he decides he needs to go there and find out what the heck's going on. Actually, I don't know. I think Zodanga might be a part of Helium, but it's like he can't crack the nut. So John Carter decides that he's going to do it personally, and of course he can't go there as John Carter, or else he's not going to learn anything. So he decides to disguise himself, his ship, paint himself red, so he's like just looks like a regular red Martian, what the heliums are that he rules, and he goes there, and he meets up with a criminal type, and it turns out, hey, the criminal type is actually an assassin. He's not an assassin in a guild, but it's like someone who's going to throw him some jobs, maybe get him some regular work. And he's like, okay. And he's told the guy that, well, I was been away from Zodanga for a while, but I killed somebody, so now I have to come, and so I've had to come back here. So I'm not picky for work. Whatever work there is to do, I'll do. And the guy, whose name I guess means the rat in in Barsoomian, says like, oh, okay, that's good. You killed someone. You told me about it. That's pretty awesome. By look. And so he's going to take him to his boss, where he's going to hopefully get further into the criminal world and learn about whatever assassin stuff is going on, and go from there. So yeah, that's the start of, I believe, the Swords of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs. With it's another John Carter novel, which we haven't had a John Carter novel for a while. Um, we went from John Carter in the first three books to Catharsis, to Thuvia, to Hazard of Thing, and probably some other. Oh, and Ulysses Paxton, and but yeah, now we're coming back to John Carter, which will be interesting to see, because like he is, well, interesting to see if Edgar Rice Burroughs remembers that he's superhuman, or will just let that fact slide, to make more drama. We'll see, because like John Carter was able to leap high buildings and was super strong, and like was basically kind of a early stage Superman in a way, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see how strong this John Carter is now that we're on book number 7. I think it's number 7, and go from there. All right, more videos later.